Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris. This is Tilly, and this is the Coffee Fuel Woodsman channel. For anyone who hasn't been here before and for returning people, it's early spring, and Tilly and I have finally found a little bit of water for us to paddle in. So we're looking for probably a pretty ice-free trip this time. We're in the Waverly Salmon River Long Lake wilderness area, and the plan is to head to Salmon River Long Lake and see if there's nobody camping there. That's where we're going to stay. We're out for a two-nighter. I'd call it a fishing trip, but if you're returning to the channel, you know that I don't usually catch a whole lot, and that's not the focus, because if it was, I'd probably be pretty disappointed with most of these trips. So we're just out here to have a good time. It's another tent camping trip this time because I brought her. It's going to be about right around 0 mark Celsius overnight, so I want to have her in with me. My big bag is about 47 pounds. And then I've got a secondary bag, which is my food bag and some other stuff. And that's about right around 20 pounds. So I'm carrying quite a bit of weight. Canoe's 45, and then all the other stuff that goes along with it, camera, whatever. We've got a 1.2K portage ahead of us right now. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna carry the pack across and then the canoe after that. What do you think? Should we get going? Should we get going? Soaked my boots and these pants in permethrin. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of ticks, because it's getting warmer. It's about 8 degrees. Okay, we are 2 hours in, and that portage being 1,200 meters is the hardest part of this trip. It's fairly flat, like not a lot of elevation. However, it's quite rocky and rooty and takes some definite concentration, especially when you have the canoe on your head. It's just gone 12, so Tilly and I are going to stop for a little bit of lunch. This is my food bag for the trip. Well, the cold food bag. We're kind of racing against the clock here. It's supposed to start raining by 3, although it's clouding in already. The hardest part of the trip's over anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. However, kind of OCD. I'm not really settled until I get to camp and get camp set up. So I brought this. Ruth and Harry in England, or any of my England friends, will know that this stuff is about £1, which is, you know, what, $2.50 for a massive chunk of it. And here in Canada, that was $7.50 on sale for this. There was a brick in there, and I've cut it into slices. Just, it was going to be easier for making the sandwiches. That's as close to a cheese buddy as I get. Well, as we finish up our meal, I just remembered that my raincoat was sat on the seat of my canoe. It's not in the canoe. So I'm gonna have to run back the kilometer and find it. All right, let's get going and get it. Whew, we ran all the way back. Turns out there is some decency in the world. And some decent fellow hung that up for me. So I'd set it there when we did our intro shot. Come on, pup, back to the canoe. Where if there wasn't as much rain tonight and this wasn't such a nice coat, I don't know if I would have went back. Anyway, this is Crowbar Lake. We're gonna hit it. The campsite I'm planning for is on the north side of an island. And because of that, it'd be nice if the wind was from the south, which, you know, it's blowing from the south and pushing us towards the north right now. So this actually would be ideal. I'm gonna get a line in the water now too. So our portage is just right about there. Let's see if I can keep the boat straight. And we're gonna go up to the lake, basically, that's flowing in right here. I'm just gonna cast a line in, see if I can get anything out of there. Oh, yeah, sit. Oh my, it's actually a good one. Holy cow, sit. The size of that guy. Look at that. Stay. Back in nice and easy. There he goes. Whew. What do you think of that, pupper? Yeah. Well, Tilly's all worked up now. So am I, kind of. I really hope that came out well on the video. I was as gentle as I could be with that fella. He kicked away pretty nice, so I got no fears for him. And here's our portage. All right, this is what we call Flipper Lake, where Flipper Dave got his name. Well, that tailwind is awesome. A little tricky on the last go. And this, on the other side of that little runoff, is where I caught that fish. Oh, the very north end, there's some Canada geese standing at the inlet. Let's see if I can get them. Just going to show you this little portage, just because it's so short. And I dropped my axe. I didn't feel like carrying it, the camera, and a paddle through this. I believe this one's called Woody Lake. Okay, say goodbye to Wood Lake, and we are headed across. Already taken the canoe across. This is maybe a 50 or 60 meter portage, pretty short. The last one was kind of fun because it was so darn short. This one's right along this little stream. Next lake we hit is Porcupine Lake. I've toyed around with camping on Porcupine, but I don't know, probably not today. Hey, why are you trying to drown the boat? I love this whole ridge on this lake. It's so pretty. I was thinking about camping right on that point right there, but probably not. All right, if you're wondering where the absence of transitional shots of me paddling towards the camera or paddling away, well, I'm 3 hours and 30 minutes into our moving time at this point, and my OCD to get there and get set up is starting to kick in. So we're gonna just do basic filming. Probably no fishing from here on This is our last lake. This is Porcupine. I'll give you a quick look at it, because it's beautiful. Little one. So directly in front of us, in front of my backpack, that flow coming down is from Salmon River Long Lake. The portage is that big green mossy boulder just to the left. May throw a line or two out there. There we go. There we go. Back up, Tilly. Tilly, back. Nice little fella. I'm gonna take him back quickly. There he goes. That's my island, straight off. Yeah, let's get to our island. We're almost there. The water's so high it doesn't look the same. Okay, little girl. We are here 4 hours and 11 minutes. Let's stop it there now. So here is the site. I think right there is where we're going to set up. Yeah, this looks like a good spot. What do you think? Not helpful. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on up there. Come on. Come on. Yeah, get. No. No, stay off it. That doesn't help. What do you think? Up to standard? Well, I've got this part set up. Just took my boots off and went in and had a little relax. You can see in there. Should be fairly comfortable, I think. I'm actually missing my hammock though. I'm glad I brought this just so the pup and I can be in the same spot, because I don't like it when she's potentially cold underneath the hammock. But it is going to be nice in there, I think. I just filtered out a whole thing of water because I've got the usual headache that I get, so I got to start pounding that into me. But more importantly, I've got to put a tarp over this fire pit that's just on the other side of the camera. I think that's where I'm going to have it for tonight. Look at how dry that is. Ooh, sorry. That's ideal. had to bring my big saw for this trip just because I'm the only one bringing stuff. And so I had to bring the big one. Definitely gonna make things a little easier for tonight because I can just start cutting up here and I don't have to go anywhere. I thought I was gonna have to travel through the forest here. This is a pretty big island, it's quite a bit of wood on it. And I thought I'd have to travel and find something to burn, but it looks like I've got it all right here. So I'm gonna move this little piece out of the way, get that tarp up and start throwing some wood underneath it. It's finally clouded in. As you can see, I've got my hammock gear traverse tarp above me. I think I started saying it earlier, but I don't know if I finished my thought. My brain is still in hammock camping territory, so with hammock camping, I always bring two tarps. I bring one to sit under, and I bring one for the hammock itself. So I brought an entire extra tarp. I've got my hammock gear journey one with me, and that is a little bit extra weight, but I guess, you know, if I need it, which I can't see it happening. I mean, the tent has its own rain fly on it, so what am I going to need it for? And yeah, so I just basically carried it in for nothing. You may or may not be able to hear the wind, but it's coming up pretty good. The island is blocking most of it, and hopefully it doesn't shift to the north, because if it does, then we're in trouble. Before I forget, being the hammock guy, I've got what's called a ground sheet that I used in my last video to go under the hammock. And I brought it because my plan was to put it underneath the tent just at the vestibule. But you know what? I've got it at my feet right now because my feet got a little wet portaging in. And this is that Dyneema Cuban fiber stuff that's ultra lightweight. And I folded this up and put it in the food bag, and it's been, yeah, it's great. I'm really impressed with it. It's 4 o'clock, so actually I'm gonna have to start thinking about making a fire and getting some coals going. I think someone has decided it's time for supper. So what I'm gonna make today is called a Cowboy Crunch Wrap Supreme. And there's a fella on YouTube called Cowboy Kent Rollins who does a lot of cast iron cooking, and Claire and I really love watching him. Anyway, I've never made this in the woods. I have made this on a fire pit before, but I have very limited pots, and we'll see how it goes. The gist of it is, if you've ever been to Taco Bell and had a crunch wrap, you know what it is. If not, I'm gonna show you. Okay, there it is. So that's pre-made taco meat. You so interested now, just whining. Ooh. So that's, I think it's lean ground beef this time. I've made it before with chicken. That's gonna go and heat up in this pot. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I've got sriracha mayo to go on top. Claire made me, this looks really gross, but it's not. That's guacamole. Right, I found my oil, which is what I need because inside a crunch wrap, you've got, you know, an outer tortilla shell. And you also have a corn tortilla. So what I got the oil for is I've got to basically deep fry that. Ooh, it's gonna fit in the pan. I might just do it right in that pan. I've got to kind of deep fry that. And then that goes in as a crunchy layer. Maybe, we'll see. And I get started. It is raining a bit now, like it's sprinkling on the tarp. It's not calling for a lot of rain tonight. It's supposed to stop by 8 p.m. However, Thursday now is supposed to be a rainstorm, 10 mils of rain, I guess, which is going to complicate things if we're getting out of here. Oh well, it's like hopefully on a good day it'll be 3 hours of paddling. Even if it's windy, this lake here is the only big lake that I'm really on. So today being Tuesday, tomorrow's supposed to be a good day. Thursday heading out, you know, I'll be able to survive it. Oof, jeez. Shoot. I'll get a little hot to start. Ooh, what do you think, pup? I just leave it there on a little bit of heat for a few minutes. So I'm gonna make all of this taco mince because I think my dog can have it, whatever I don't eat. And there's nothing else that I have to put in, I don't believe. That oil might keep it from sticking to the bottom. This is literally gonna be maybe 10 minutes max, I would say. Oh yeah, that's good. So I just want to heat the tortilla so when I fold it, it will actually fold rather than break. Throw my crunchy doodad right in there to heat it back up. This may soften it a bit, but whatever. We're campfire cooking here. We can't have everything. So I'm going to do sour cream. Sorry. I slurp that on. Now for the main event. I'm gonna make this with quite a bit because I think I'm only having the one. So guacamole. I'm gonna put that in there. Guacamole, oh right. And then I'm gonna squeeze it on, pipe it on. So Claire's mixed this with, God, it looks terrible. I guess it always does. She's mixed that with a bunch of different things. I know one is chili peppers, which I always like. And now, if I steamed it enough, this is when you fold it, and it should fold properly. We'll see. Oh, and I just thought, I'm supposed to have a pan now to reheat. Oh, and I'm melting my plate, because I'm an idiot. Oh well, it'll still hold things. Okay, once I get this folded, I'm gonna go grab one of those frying pans. Now the way Kent Rollins does it is he cut out another piece of the white tortilla to like cover the back of the that yellow corn tortilla, but I didn't think it was a big deal. Not for here. Oh my God, that's good. I'm gonna let that cook just for a couple of minutes or so. I'm gonna move all my stuff back under the tarp though. So that's where we'll be when we finally get it done. Well, the first side finally crisped up properly. I'm hearing just a little more rain on the tarp, which isn't great. You ready for yours? Okay, it's done. Have a look. Looks all right. Have a bite from the full side. It kind of sloshed around in there. I apologize for looking so surprised. That is incredibly good. There's actually a lot of sriracha, sour cream, a lot of cheese, a lot of everything. Oh, okay, I'm gonna eat this. We'll see after. So Tilly and I just went into the tent just to check it out, make sure everything was okay. It was a little too comfortable, wasn't it? So that was at like 10 after 6, 20 after 6. It's now 7:30. So when I planned this trip, and it was kind of a last minute planning, it was supposed to be a mil of rain here and there over 4 days. So we were gonna come out for the full 3 and just go home later on Thursday. And what's happened now is tomorrow is still supposed to be pretty nice,
was supposed to start raining come afternoon and into evening, which it wasn't supposed to before. And now Thursday, which was supposed to be rain-free, is supposed to pour all night long and then pour all day. So we basically been huddling under that tarp, just her and I, just on a few light sprinkles. And honestly, with the portaging that we have to do to get out of here, I'm not certain I want to risk it just to extend our stay a few hours and then get up, and packing everything is going to be just soaked because it's going to rain all night, then it's going to rain in the day. If it was going to clear off at all on Thursday or anything like that, give my tarps a bit of chance to dry, but more importantly, the rocks that we have to walk over and the roots. And the last thing I want to do is on my vacation here get injured. So unfortunately, I think we're going to shut her down a day early, which is too bad. But on the bright side, it's now time for dessert. But this is just a blueberry lemon scone from Cobb's Bakery. So we're going to share that. That's why I brought it, because the pup can eat it. A lot of sugar though.
It's 8:39 and we're in bed already. The wind really switched around, so we spent the last little while just putting the tarp in a different configuration. That way tomorrow when we get up it won't be so bad. I'm struggling with the condensation on the lens of the camera. Yeah, so it's a fairly early bedtime. I brought a book, but I don't know if I'm going to read it. I actually think I might just try to go to bed. It's pretty much dark outside there now. The wind's dropped a little bit, but it's not completely gone, and it's actually pretty nice out there right now. I warmed up when we first got out of the tent from our nap. I was kind of chill, but I really warmed up, especially switching the tarp around. Anytime you do camp chores, it always makes it a little easier. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have a big day tomorrow, so time to get some shut-eye. Unfortunately, no campfire to put you to sleep with tonight.
Well, good morning. It's 7 a.m. I was up once at 5 to go pee, but only because the dog wanted out. She needed to go for number 2. I slept the whole night, like I never wanted to get out of the tent, but I shifted a lot. I woke up a lot last night. This new top quilt was the best thing ever, because the last time I was out I had my hammock one, and it's a lot narrower. This thing is like super wide on the top, and it also has some clip attachments to clip down to the sleeping pad that Johnny actually went with. It's another one of those climate sleeping pads. Let's see it there. Kind of on a little bit of an angle sideways though, so I slept on my side most of the night, and I think my hips kept hurting, so that's what would wake me up and I'd turn over. But I slept good, just not. It's not like we went to bed and I woke up and it's morning. The wind's up as I thought it would be. I'll just show you that.
So I had to like rearrange the direction of it. So now the back wall is to the water.
So the reason I kind of woke the dog up is she was having a great nap, and even having a little dream. I could tell she was like twitching a bit. But I looked on her little coat, and there was a tick on it, and it was a smaller one, solid black. And anyway, I got rid of that, but both of us woke up, so now I'm going to do a tick check, a thorough one, and then probably get up, make some breakfast. Come here. Hey.
Oh. Alright, let's go see what it looks like out here. I'm getting out the opposite side because the wind isn't on this side, which is kind of nice. Oh. Yeah, beautiful. See a little bit of the sun, pupper. Huh? Hey?
Tilly and I are just sort of hanging out underneath this tarp. Yeah, right, pup? Yeah. It's blocking most of the wind for us. And out there is where it's all coming from. I'm glad I shifted it around before we went to bed, because getting up and not having something to block the wind in the morning if you're cold is not great. Hey, pup? Why are you sitting right on the saw? Sorry about that, I didn't realize. I'm just gonna get at making breakfast. That fire's going pretty good there now. Probably good enough that I can cook on it. And that piece of wood that I'm cutting up, I got a few pieces from. It's actually burning really well, even in the round. I don't have to split it, which is good because most of it splits terribly. It's all knotty. It's really hard to get it done. So I'm glad that I don't have to split it. With all the smoke coming off my breath, I know it looks like it's really cold here, but I'm not even wearing gloves. It's about 3-4 degrees right now. The weather forecast has changed again. Instead of it being torrential downpours on Thursday now, it's just supposed to be a little bit of rain. I think fairly steady. However, it is supposed to rain overnight as well tonight. It looks like the window for that rain event's moved back a bit, so instead of coming this afternoon, it's going to come tonight. You okay? What's going on? Need a little attention? My girl. I'll go girl. Yeah. I'll take you demon. Okay, so for breakfast this morning, we're having sausage and hash browns. I think that's it, which, you know, that's going to be enough. But the most important thing, I got to tend to that fire a little bit more, get a little bit more fuel on it, because I need to make some coffee. Got the old Johnsonsville, I think they're actually pre-cooked sausage, so they won't take very long. I took half of them out and then put in a couple of these patties. So I'm going to throw those in this lovely pan that's here. I'll put those in after because they're probably not going to take very long. And I did bring a little stick of butter, not a ton. And that is Secret Ultra Sauce, or it used to be. I think it's just ketchup now. It used to be a mixture of ketchup and Dijon. So I just poured my first cup of coffee. You know when you've been missing something but you can't put your finger on it, and then you realize it and it's like a revelation? Well, that's what I just had. It's like my last coffee yesterday was around 9:30 in the morning because I had one in the car on the way here. Whoa. I could account for my headache. Coffee. Seat. Yeah, let's get into this. Oh, it looks so boring compared to what we usually do, but I think it's going to be really good. Oh my God, that's delicious. Okay, good. I figured I'd show you briefly. Here's our lake. There's my tarp set up now. It looks bad, but really where Tilly and I are, that's blocking all our wind. Get a stick. Hopefully you can hear me. A little change of plans. My friend Johnny, I actually have cell reception out here, which is nice, and he sent me a text saying that the weather is improved. So instead of getting like
constant rain overnight and constant rain tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be a little bit of rain overnight and then a chance of showers tomorrow. So that to me is acceptable. And with this wind that's come up like this, see, actually slightly easing off a bit. But with the way it is, what's the difference leaving now or tomorrow morning? Hopefully it'll drop overnight and we'll have an easier paddle tomorrow. The thing I need to do is finish this, because my headache started to go away because of it, and move this to the other side of the tent. So the tent's kind of on a knoll. This is the leading edge that goes to the water. Tent goes, and there's a knoll that goes to the south of the island. That's pretty clear down there too. I'm gonna leave the tent where it is because the wind doesn't really seem to bother it too bad. And we're just gonna move this exact configuration down over that hill. There's another fire pit down there. I think I'll probably put it right at that fire pit just because it's easier. That's what I've been sitting behind this whole time. The tent is just over there. It's 11:30. We've just been kind of messing around. I've moved the tarp twice now. I think I'm finally happy with where it is. You may get a little wind noise. I'll show you where it is in a second, but I'm so far back from it, just so I could film it so you could see it, that I'm not really getting the windbreak from it. So when it comes time to needing it, we're gonna be a lot closer. I figured we get that stuff done right away rather than wait until later. We still not ate lunch yet. I think maybe we'll probably have a pipe and a coffee. And what do you think? Sandwich today or cheese and crackers? Didn't bring any crackers. So I'll show you where the tarp is now. The tent's back here. I've not moved that, that's gonna stay. Tarp being here, I like the configuration quite a bit better. And just on the other side of the bag, there's a big divot. So I can sit on this rock here, or I can sit right where the bag is, and I'm gonna get blocked from the wind later this evening. And obviously, even sitting there, I've got a beautiful view of the lake. And the lake just keeps going. It's all the way down there. So before, I was set up down in behind that big rock, I think that you can see a little further beyond it. And I just wasn't feeling it. You know. Well, I don't know if you can tell that my mood's high. My mood has really changed. Last night when it looked like we were gonna have to cut it a day short just because of the miserable weather, I was pretty bummed out, gotta be honest. And then I was going through that typical, I miss Claire, and we could be home, you know, just snuggling on the couch, me, her, and the pup. But as always, I always get over that feeling after, you know, so many hours in the woods. When you first get out here, especially when it gets dark and there's not really much to do, you kind of start second guessing why you came out. But I've always found you just got to work in. Once you stay a certain period of time, then you realize it's all worth it. And look at this one. Oh my. I mean, we still miss her mom and my wife like crazy, but it's nice to get out here and recharge your batteries. You just got to get over that initial, I don't know, 12 hours. You can get past the 12 hours, maybe even get to bed. By the time you wake up in the morning, usually that's all gone and you're happy to be here. I started to really feel content once Johnny texted me and said the weather was going to improve. I started to really settle into camp life. Pup and I are going to have same thing we had yesterday for lunch. This might be too much pepperoni for one sandwich, pup. I tell you, last night in the tent, my legs were killing me. I think, you know, because we haven't really done a portage trip yet this year, combined with that jogging that I decided I needed to do, kind of took a lot out of me. A little surprised. And that's too much again. This moss is fantastic. Clean. Whoa,
looks like the dog got a free piece of cheese.